Hi, today is April 13th, 2020, and I'm doing a reading on um, Teri Benally. I think that's how you say her last name. She was trans. She was murdered in July of 2009 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She was last seen on, I think it's called Maple. I don't know if it's Maple Street, Avenue, Boulevard, whatever. I'm not sure, but she was talking to a male in wearing shorts. And the precursory information I read just initially, I didn't get anything more as far as identifying this person as light complected, dark complected, anything else other than as a male. And nothing about so far that I've found to do, but I haven't looked too far. I like to see if I'm tracking. So this is our initial reading for Teri's case. So I'm inviting Spirit and Ancestors and Teri Spirit, to let us know what they want to share with regarding her death and other things that we may not be aware of that we need to be aware of. Okay? All right. Teri. Who is responsible for Teri's murder? Who is responsible for Teri's murder? In Albuquerque. She was last seen on Maple. Teri. Who is responsible for the person? Who is the person responsible for your passing? In the spirit of truth and justice, please help me to discern and relay that. Who is the responsible person for Teri Benally's passing? Sorry for any background noise. Okay, we're looking at Page of Pentacles, covers her in her environment. And what crosses her is the Page of Cups. And Hangman, Judgment, crowning her. I think we are looking at a victim of hate crime here. Yeah. Seven of Swords in the recent past. We're getting, I think there was a man with a criminal past responsible for her death. I think he may not have killed only Teri, but I'm feeling like this is a behavior he does again and again and again. And it's on the quiet, it's illicit, it's, murder, and he feels a moral, somebody feeling like they have some moral high ground to do this. There's judgment, there's the use of judgment, and this is a male, adult male. King of Wands would be like a fire sign, or would have a lot of that kind of trait in their personality. Quick to anger, could be short-tempered, overbearing, use violence as a means of being domineering. Some people might be more prone to play mind games. This person just would straight up physically put hands on you. And have problems. In my opinion, what I'm picking up is rage. and some thought that they have a right to pass this judgment. But in really what they are doing is bringing judgment upon themselves. That's a feeling I get. I also feel like there are, again, other people, especially with this hanged man at the base, that this person has done this to. I feel like there's more than one person. Page of Pentacles. I feel like there is an initial conversation. He wants to come off like initially seeming as, it would, because I get 2 pages, I feel like it wants to come off as less than the intense dark individual that they are. So they make some sort of a passing comment or a gesture. Okay. Sorry, I have another family member coming home. I'm going to have to put this on pause. Okay, so in what she was aware of, or what's going on here, is somebody having there is a bit of confusion. They're also somebody that's living in friggin' fantasy island. You know, it's this person has a lot of ideas, but about things. What I'm getting is but I feel like they treat people like objects. There's a certain this man treats women and others just as an object for his fantasies. That's a bit bothersome. Yeah. Okay. There also could be that this person had some substance, been using some substance also, potentially, with that Seven of Cups. And I keep getting this. There's the Ten of Cups. This is about fantasies. This is about making dreams come true. Some sort of... There's a lot of emotional energy packed in with this person and their fantasies and their judgment, so that when they judge someone, they feel somehow like this King of Cups felt somehow like he had every right to do so. And this person is not well grounded at all. And I think definitely felt frustrated themselves and unclear and confused themselves about what they wanted in life, I think. There's something about that. And it almost seems to me like they feel like other people have these wonderful lives, but this guy, something with this guy is resentful. There's a part of him that really, it's a hate crime for sure, and he feels like he knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows that but he feels justified in it. And he's penalizing people in some twisted, warped way. Okay. We all had that figured out, but to feel it while you're reading is actually yuck. The world. This is in the placement of hopes and fears. I feel like this is somebody that didn't feel free to be themselves. Like Teri, I think, certainly probably knew at times she wasn't free to be herself all the time around certain people or be how she wanted. But Teri was herself, living out there as she was as a trans woman. I don't feel like this male that she encountered felt so that she should be able to do that, perhaps. Felt that had very distinct feelings, but also some kind of confusion themselves regarding perhaps sexuality, emotional connection. Because why would you judge people? It just... And I see a Queen of Pentacles. I get a Queen of Pentacles as an ending. I feel like she was probably I've had to do a few readings here because I've been interrupted. And I do feel like she was probably kidnapped. That's further reinforced in this reading with the Hanged Man. I'm still considering this reading as a preliminary reading for her, just kind of to break the ice, so to speak. I'm getting that this is someone, I keep getting that there's someone that was passing judgment on her, and they have a lot of emotions and a short temperament, and a lot of self-justification in doing this. There's also been a repertory feeling of this person doing this not only to her but to a couple more people. More people they've sacrificed. They are sacrificing these people basically for being themselves. They're acting like they're judge, jury, and executioner on somebody just for being themselves because they are confused by it, because they can't wrap their head around it. That's not anyone else's problem but theirs. So we're looking at somebody that was going out there in the community, I believe, and targeting people that he felt he had some moral high horse to judge and to slay, quite frankly. I'm feeling that after they did that to Teri, there was another female that followed. This is someone who's passing judgment on women and people who, for me, women, period. But also that includes trans women, of course. Maybe especially for this man. And I think that he would have initially acted as though he were friendly, but ultimately he had a hidden agenda. And one that he'd done before. He had done this before. Okay. King of Wands, going around killing people and taking their lives, taking their dreams, and their ability to live out their dreams, I feel like also from them, and taking them from their families. This person really felt like they had some justification in doing this. What a piece of garbage. All right. So it's a King of Wands type of energy. All right, I want to get clarification, so I'm going to just shuffle the cards I've got here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take up these. Okay, so I think we've got it understood that we don't need to go into the dirty nitty-gritty of what he did to her. I'm not here for gratuitous cruelty, shock value. I think the message, and I want to get more about the perp, okay? I think what we get from that message there is, this is a man that was killing people like Teri, perhaps other trans women, perhaps both, just women, whether they're trans or not. But I feel like they singled out trans women especially, and that they felt no remorse for doing what they did. There's a lot of emotion behind it. They're just this individual. But let's just see. Okay, so what can you share with the spirit about this? It seems like a type of a serial killer that was operating. I was aware that there are some deaths in that area of Maple from the reading that I did before I read this, but this I didn't necessarily want to, like, again, you want to try and clear your bias because you don't know. This could be someone that she knew. You know, this may not be connected to that. You want to have open eyes, objectivity. But I feel like, yeah, this is a nod toward her being targeted by somebody that was like a serial killer, that was passing judgment on women, particularly probably trans women, and comes off initially towards her with a friendly face. Takes advantage of a situation. And they are killing people based, they were killing people based on a moral, some high moral horse that they had. Like they have a right to do that. They also, with that, I kept getting a queen at the end of the readings. I feel like that was the next victim he went on to after Teri. I feel like there were others. This person wasn't caught for her crime, and maybe not for these other crimes before Teri's time. I see this person was active prior to Teri's death in doing this kind of thing, and after her death. So we want to get a look. I asked the universe and the ancestors to let us have a look more, flesh out more of a story on the perpetrator who is guilty of the murder, hate crime against Teri Benally. This King of Wands who killed Teri Benally that you've shown me. What more, please, can you reveal to me? Is this person still living? Are they in jail? Prison? Because you're showing me an adult male, and he was an adult in 2009. Is he still alive? What can you share with me about the perpetrator? Ancestors and Spirit of the Tarot. And Spirit. What can you share with me about the perpetrator? Okay. I feel like this person was struggling to have, with it, again, with himself, with conforming. There's something, or being public with their ideas, or feeling accepted. There's something here with him. Okay. Queen of Swords. Base. Yeah. This person... Huh. This person... Oh boy. The interesting thing that I keep picking up is this person responsible is tormented themselves by not fitting into society in some way. And there's someone like Teri out there being who she is. Being who she is. And for this person, that is a real problem for them. It's because they don't feel somehow that is either, I don't know, acceptable, but it's also a personal thing for themselves. They have some problems within themselves about their own identity. And something to do with putting on that face of, hey, my life is great. It's not. I think this person, it shows this man either being asked or giving, or asking for help. There's something about an exchange. Okay, I think this person, okay, goes out public. And I think he tries to pick up women. And there's some kind of freedom that oh, you know what? Here's another thought. You know, the world is kind of a card that is all-inclusive. This is not just a woman. Okay, a lot of people think so. That it's only a binary cis. It's not. The world card is balance. It is male and female. It's not one. It's fluid. It's gender fluid. That's my point. And in the past, I just feel like, is there some kind of, I almost want to say they've got some kind of belief system that this kind of thing is at odds. Now, probably religion based and just basic ignorance. But there's also some kind of joy that this man feels cut off from socially. And he feels cut off from society. So he also might be in prison for something else. Trying to figure him out. I feel that he's... Is that Queen of Swords? Well, I'm not going to get too hung up. I think there's women that are strong women that are free and they don't conform to what makes him feel more comfortable or less threatened by, I think is an issue. That freedom is an issue for him. And it shows in the past with the Queen of Swords. She's a strong woman. She'll tell you her mind. She's not going to mince words with you. She's going to be honest. She'll listen to what you have to say, but she's not going to put up with nonsense. And I cannot help but feel like this man doesn't like this type. I think he felt like if he bought you drinks or dinner or put money towards you, then you had to do what he wanted, or you would be indebted. That typical type of mentality. So I think there's a lot of misogyny and definitely a misogyny, transphobic problem going on here for this guy. He struggles with the fact that somehow he himself doesn't feel like accepted by society either, but yet there's something here with, I think he lures people in like he's going to give them some help or he's going to be friendly toward them. And I feel like he's totally targeting trans women. In that community. I feel though that, let's just see, so when we look at him, he doesn't have, to me, he's left something behind here. Human decency, for one thing. But I feel like this is him, I think, traveling around. I think that having a typical thing that you would see with a serial type killer would be someone that leaves a certain impression perhaps upon people, but then lives another type of life. Goes out there and takes out their anger, aggression, whatever, hatred, and frustration upon people in the trans, particularly women, people in the trans community, and those that are clearly out, okay, with who they are, being able to endure the nonsense that they have to from people just in being who they are. he may have been the type to also ask them for help or something like that, just to catch them off guard. There's just something that I feel like is his initial way to kind of weaseling into position to do what he does. This goes back to childhood. There's something, childhood in the environment. There's also a sense of, I wonder if, can't help but wonder if he wasn't known. To her. But actually, I'm thinking that this is more to do with something significant in his past. Or children. Eek. Okay. Yeah. That kind of thing. Okay. 5 of Cups. This person, hopes and fears. Again, you know, here's the 3 of Cups turned over, that he's looking at here and not feeling, kind of, this person that does not have a great deal of, they have a lot of emotions, but they don't have a great deal of empathy with other people. They have struggled to connect with other people. Period. And there's a sense of dissatisfaction with this. And I'm not sure what their what childhood, children in their environment, certainly wouldn't want children in their environment. I think they have passed. There's something here with that 6. Let's get more clear. Yeah, okay. I think this person passed from an illness. And I think they could have ended up homeless at some point. Or as a result of a series of events, could have ended up putting him out on the street too. I just feel like this person, okay. Ugh. I'm feeling like there was a waiting period. This waiting period may have been because they were sick and they couldn't get out there to do what they wanted to do anymore, which was to be active in targeting trans women. And I think they did end up passing. That also the feeling that I feel like, I'm just going to say it, I feel like I was shown in readings that I was trying to do prior to this, where I was interrupted and had to scrap, and now I'm getting the children, a card to do with children again. With the Judgment card that I had coming up in earlier readings, I feel like this person may have also been responsible for killing a child, along with a couple adults. And I feel like I'm being shown in these readings that the message of he killed before Teri and he killed a woman after her. I feel like there's something unfortunately here that I can't completely rule out as being to do with actual children in an environment that around. It's memories. No, it's memories. I'm sorry. And I'm getting that he was sick, and this is the memories he had of what he had been able to do. Sometimes that comes when I read. I think he ended up, the fate of this man was, he may have ended up getting sick, and unable to carry out this activity, so he was relying on memories of, I think, of what he had done. I think he was a serial killer. He is aware of 3 deaths in particularly keep coming out to me with these cups. In the 5 of cups with the 3 turned over, and the 4 of cups with the 3 upright. Here's the 4th that is not yet quite in his awareness. It shows here as yet. I think there was more people that he wanted to target. There were still more people he was wanting to target, to go out there and do. But I think he died of some kind of illness. I think these victims some of them may have had their remains located. Maybe some shall yet be located. I believe he had a tendency to put them outside, to put bodies outside. I don't believe he probably concealed them in, let's say, a building or something like that. I'm feeling like there could be a message there too. But I definitely get a sense of he may have had to ick and double yuck stop targeting because he gets sick. I'm being shown somebody that's very callous, has problems connecting to people, connecting emotionally, having empathy, has a lot of judgment and feels justified and targeting people and doing what he was doing. He got some emotional satisfaction out of doing it. It's really sick. He himself, though, has something very frustrated within his own identity. And I don't know what that is, but he's not entirely accepting of himself, but instead of taking it out, like, say, on himself, he takes it out on other people. He chooses another victim, and someone else that has the guts to be very brave and be out with who they are, rather than, I feel like he's not able, for whatever reason, to be completely clear and honest about who he is with himself or with other people. And this bothers him. Somehow seeing somebody who is free, being herself as a trans woman, is very triggering for this guy. What a jerk. And I think he feels like he had a right to take out something upon these women. He also, I feel like he was someone that moved around a lot. I'm not 100% sure when he would pass, if he's passed yet, but I tend to think he probably has already. Um, and because I really feel like there's something here about memory, and he's not able to get up and move around like he was before, and travel around. Now, this card with the Six of Swords, you could say, well, that could be movement or travel in the future, and I would normally say quite possibly. But I feel like it's him passing and taking all that unfinished business with him. And I feel like someone dying as a result of a disease, this male. Definitely got mental health problems and problems with substance. Because there's just something that's way out there. I'm talking way out there with this guy mentally, emotionally, his mental and emotional health. And that's really off. And I think he was definitely someone that was going out there and targeting these women. So I feel pretty confident to say that he was, if there wasn't more than one individual, and there may have been more than one individual targeting people in Albuquerque, women and trans folks, trans women in particularly, there may have been more than one person doing that, which wouldn't surprise me. But I feel like he was a key one. He might have been responsible for 2 or 3 others in that area. And I did quickly, when I was quickly looking on choosing a case, I did see that there was a pool of people that were from that area over some periods of time that went missing. I don't know yet if it was because typical because of it's maybe not the best area and you're going to have that kind of crime, or people will get targeted in that area, or exactly what. I need to research about that. But I feel like he was active there and killed more than one person from that area that she was in, that Teri was in. Okay, did this person responsible for Teri's murder, did this King of Wands ever go to prison? Did he ever go to prison? Or is he in prison? What caused him to stop? I just want to get more clarity. What caused this perpetrator to stop? The person that is responsible for killing Teri, and it looks like I'm being shown others. What caused them to stop? I think health. Overall stamina. Queen of Wands crossing them. There's that 3 again. Okay. Again with this, I think that he may have acted like he was going to help, or like he was a good guy, that he gave him money, or I don't know what this is. Or he feels like he's doing the world a favor. Or he also, I get, may have had a job as an outreach type person, somebody that looks like they're trying to be outreach, help, offer help. And I think that's how he may have initially have used as an approach. Or he may have actually done some work in outreach as a volunteer or something along these lines that could put him in contact with people that are vulnerable in the community. Look at that cruelty in in his past. It's showing me cruelty. It's showing me someone who takes advantage of others. That the need to I feel like lash out and hurt other people is part of this person's MO. He may have had people there also then with an illness that required taking care of him. And I'm wondering with that Queen of Wands if she was someone like a caretaker. Knight of Pentacles. What made him stop? This is a new energy here. Knight of Pentacles, the health. Man. These are the people, again, to me, these are the victims. This person definitely that killed Teri killed other people and killed a number of other people. The same MO, I believe. He may have died of a heart attack. There's so much, there's a lot of anger in this person. Here at the cruelty. And I just feel like there was a health issue where they needed to have help, where they sought help. I think I'm being shown the way that they would approach their approach. But also what ended up happening. That their health, I think, became an issue. And the stamina to do so. Yeah. In the environment we have death. Sorry about the wind back noise. In the environment we have death. This person was a killer. They killed people in the environment. And with a great deal of rage and cruelty. And I think this person ends up dying themselves, this killer, through, I feel like, heart attack. Cardiac. I feel like it's cardiac. Breathing. Respiratory. Cardiac respiratory, maybe. They hoped, this hopes and fears, I think they hoped that they would somehow recover or get better. Or they dreaded being ill for, that this was going to be a long-term thing. That would make sense. I'm sure he wanted to, I believe he wanted to get back out there. And what he was doing, as I saw with the other reading, was he was kind of relishing the memory of what he had done to people, which is just sick. Knight of Swords. End result. Yeah. I feel like he had a heart attack. And there was something with his breathing. a cardiac arrest, may have gone into coma, and was a I just think this person was a very cruel man. A very, very cruel man. And somehow I believe that there was a condition that he had that caught up with him and slowed him down, and he couldn't go out and target victims anymore, and he couldn't go out and didn't have the stamina to carry on killing. And I think he ends up having a heart attack. And part of it is the energy that people can hold. Certainly you can be prone to having heart attacks simply by genetics, but also by temperament. You hold on to shit, oh yeah. That's stress. That's really, really bad. That's why those of us that are empathic have to process our feelings and make sure that we do and not hold them in, because when you bottle them up and that rage, it can come out misdirected and in sick ways. Like this type of person, I mean, this person clearly is an extreme example because they hunt down trans people because they're a hateful, weird, garbage human who doesn't have the guts to be who they are, but can't bear that somebody else dare be themselves. Really, really, it's just too bad they couldn't have gotten taken off the planet sooner, because they took people, and they know that they hurt families. They know this. There's some perverse, I feel like they took some perverse sense of control, sense of enjoyment from doing this. And they really did not feel bad about doing it. They only felt bad that they couldn't continue to do it. Look at that. Ew. Yeah. There's some sick, sadistic control over other people. It's just evil. So I think that this person, I think they ended up passing through a heart attack or something along those lines. I'm feeling like they knew that they were sick. This man knew he was sick. And I don't just mean, I wish that they realized how sick they were in the head. I think that they knew that they were physically not well, and I think that they knew to some degree that they had a mental condition, but there's no excuse for being this hateful. That's just, he willfully targeted these people and passed a judgment on them. I'd like to know if he gets a taste of waiting. I feel like he ends up just in the afterlife as still kind of stuck on this Three of Cups again. He's still stuck on going out there and doing what he did as it was like a game to him. And he was waiting to do it. That's just so ick. I just don't feel like this man, I think he was really unhappy about people that were not conformists. I don't know if he was a religious nut, but I don't necessarily, I'm not getting a lot about religion, but I am just getting more about this is his rule, his thing, that people being themselves, a real problem with people being themselves, trans people being who they are, and seeing them be happy or content. He was not content in his life. And so he targeted these people as somebody to take things out on. And he felt no feelings of remorse, I gotta say, in doing so, which is just sick. I do believe he likely could not continue to kill people because of a health issue, and he may have passed as a result of like heart attack, cardio, like I said, vascular problem, heart attack, breathing, definitely something in that area. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there because now we're at about an hour, and this is going to take a long time to probably upload, but I will see you in the next video, and I hope that this bringing Teri's case and others to light is in some way helpful. I believe she was killed by someone who was deliberately targeting trans women and was a serial killer. I believe they only stopped because of a lack of stamina health-wise to do so. And they very likely at this point have passed away, because I see the health problem was, I think, pretty much life-ending for them. They were not going to get back out there and be able to kill anymore, so they were relying on memory. I believe that he killed, like I said, just to recap, some people, women after Teri as well, at least one more, and possibly could have killed a child at some point. Definitely. There's a very strong image that I kept getting over and over with different readings here with Teri. I will still, what I like to do now is just kind of let this settle a little, and then I'll come back to Teri's case and have another look. I would also like to look at the other cases that are connected to the Maple Street or area of Albuquerque, because there was definitely, I'm being shown in the cards, it's not just my own bias, I'm being shown that she was killed by a serial killer, and I think it's safe to say others were being targeted there too, and I want to cover their cases and give them attention. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in the next video.